Welcome everyone. This lesson will be a bit different from the other ones because today we'll do something more practical. So far we did many lessons with a bit of theory, some exercises. So I think that now it's time to do something which is very crucial when we have to do with a programming language, which is to actually create a library. In case of Rust, it's called create, a package, and then we'll publish this on the official website. The Rust one is called crates.io. It's similar to npmjs.com. Okay, so today we'll do the whole process. So we'll set up the account, we will get the API, we will create the package, we will publish the package, and then we will test the package. Sometimes I will call it package, sometimes I will call it crate. Crate is the specific package for the Rust programming language, but this idea can be also used on other programming languages. The first step is to visit crates.io, this website, and if you are not logged in, you can go here at the top right and you can log in. I think you can log in with your GitHub account. In my case, I'm already signed up, so I'll skip this step, but you should see your name here. Once you have your GitHub profile linked to crates.io, you should have something like this. We should have your dashboard. Maybe in your case, this will look empty, okay? And then if you go on accounts settings here on the API tokens, you can generate a new token. I have already done this. What you can do here is to generate or create a new token. I think I can even click it here. You can give it here a name, and once you have the name, you will see for once this API key that you should copy somewhere. So if this is your first time creating an account here, I suggest to create this API token and save this string somewhere, because soon we will use it to basically log in to Cargo from the terminal, okay? So this is important. Here you should click generate token, and in that case you will have your API. Okay, you can save this string somewhere. Okay, so once you have this API token somewhere, you can go on the terminal and type cargo login. When you type cargo login, here you can paste the token found on crates.io/me. So here you have your API token, here you paste your API token. In this case I will not do it because I've already done this previously before doing this video. Okay, so in this case I'll just hit Ctrl+C, but here you should paste your token. This is basically to authorize and basically connect this machine with your crates.io account. So now we should create a package, a crate. This is the first step. We can test it locally, and then we'll publish this, and then we'll also test it. To do this, I need an idea. I was thinking about something super easy, which is a text to emoji package. So basically you can have a package that has just a single method, and once you use a method, it will convert the text, some of the words, into emojis. Super simple one. Of course, this is an excuse to test the crates in Rust. Cargo, new, the name of the library, for example, text to emoji, and then the option --lib. Okay, we create, Rust is super fast to do this. We step into this directory. Okay, and then we can open this with any IDE we want, for example VS Code, like this. So it has a Cargo.toml empty file. In this, usually we ignore this part, this Cargo.toml file. In this case, we'll have, since this will be a public package, we will need to tweak this a bit. We don't need a dependency. This will become a dependency for something else. And as usual, here we have a src with a lib.rs file. This is a library, not a project with a main.rs. Okay, So in this case, I think we can create a new file. We can call this emoji mappings. Of course, we'll not map everything, but at least some words, some of my favorite words here. And then in this case, we can create this emoji to text mapping. To be honest, it's text to emoji. Okay, so it looks like this. We'll skip typing this, but basically we are using hash maps. You can check the video about hash maps, and this is basically just maps, for example, happy, coffee, pizza, love, and sun into these emojis. We'll probably use some of these emojis. We will see an example soon. Okay, nice. Now we can go on lib.rs file. Let's remove everything which is here in the lib.rs file. And then first of all, we need to add this line. Okay, if you're confused about this mod, I suggest to check the videos about project structure, but basically just to be clear, we are just importing this file inside this other file. So it's called module, but basically it's literally just this file. In Rust, like in other programming languages, we can create the documentation in this library. So for comments we use the /. For official documentation we'll use the /. Okay, so in this case this will generate, we'll see how this is done, will generate the official documentation for this crate. Super interesting. I will copy this part. This will become the official documentation. Okay, and here we have an example. So what does this crate do? Convert words in a single sentence to their corresponding emojis. We have as an argument text and returns a new string with matching words replaced by emojis. This is an example. We have this method convert to emoji. So is this one like this? Okay, let's check it. So we have this public function that gets this text and returns the string, and then you can see here that we have this emoji map variable that uses these emoji mappings, which is this file emojimapping.rs, and then this get emoji map. So it's basically using this one. It's getting this one. Okay. And then here there is the simple logic. This logic is basically it's simply just iterating through all the words that it finds, and then it will replace the current word with the emoji, and then it creates the string again. We can also add some tests here. I want to make it just a bit smaller, and we can add some tests just to try it out. We made multiple lessons about tests. Let's paste this test, and as you can see here we have this attribute CFG test. I think we can make it a bit bigger here, and then we can try, for example, if the input is this one, I love coffee and pizza, we should get the emojis here. Okay, and if we don't have any emojis mapped in the emoji mapping, we should get the same string. Okay, so now, do you remember the command to run tests? Let's type cargo test here. Okay, and in this case we can see that these two tests are running successfully. Okay, so we added a couple of tests. Now we need to start doing something a bit different, because we want this crate to be used by someone else. Okay, so the first step is to build in and preview the documentation. So in this case we will do the command cargo.-open here, and in this case we have something like this. You see, it already converted it already created, this is super cool, this documentation for the crate. You see, this is of course a very simple documentation, but this one is based on this one. Convert words in a given one. This is magic. It is basically this triple one, it's converted, okay? This is just of course this is just a preview, okay, but this is how it will look like. Okay, you see, this is not published yet. You see, it's a C workspace. This is on my PC. This is an HTML file on my PC. Okay, super cool. I love this feature a lot. Okay, so remember this command, which is cargo.doc --open. Let's go on to work on here, because usually we leave this cargo.toml like pretty dry, I would say, because we are just interested into creating code. Okay, in this case we want to add something and make this more official. Okay, so as a name we can leave this one, as a version we can leave this one, edition 2021. This should change soon, because I talked with someone of the Rust Foundation. Then we need to add the authors. I hope GitHub Copilot will help me here. Yes, so here I should add my name and an email here. Let's do this. Okay, then we need a description of this. I think this one is correct. And then a license, MIT. And then there are some links. We need to add a repository link. For now, let's leave this empty. A home page empty. Let's leave this empty. We will probably get errors for this. Readme. Let's put readme.md. And then we need also keywords, emoji, text, convert, and Rust, and then categories. As for categories, for now I want to leave this open, empty, like this. Okay, so we're working here on this cargo.toml file, because we're actually creating and publishing this crate. Now, another step can be to create this readme.md file. This is usually a good practice. Sometimes we have done that, sometimes we didn't, because maybe we were just focused on the code. So here we can create a file, readme.md, and here let's put something simple. Okay, let's remove this, and here we can have this simple text in MD format. We can have here also an example. We are creating the readme.md file for the package. So example, like this. We can have how this can be used. Okay, I hope you can see something like that. So this is how you can use it. So using this method, basically. And now we can add also the license. So license here, the MIT license, okay? And that's it. Okay, so we created basically a simple readme file, okay? Okay, now I want to do something that probably will lead us to some errors, but this is on purpose, because I will try to publish this crate, and I will show you how I will have some hints of what I should do to actually publish this crate. So let's try. There is a very interesting command which is called cargo publish. Let's do this. Cargo publish -run. This is a command that will not actually publish it, because I remembered you that once it's published, it will be published forever. We can sort of put this in a bin trash, but it will be available forever. Otherwise, someone might delete something from the official crazy.io folder. Let's try and let's see if we'll get some errors. Okay. And we'll get errors here. And this is great, because we are getting here what I should do. Let's read. 4 files in the working directory contains changes that were not yet committed into Git. This is amazing. I get this warning saying, hey, you are trying to publish this on crazy.io, but you have files that are not committed. Okay, so in this case, let's make it happy. So let's add everything to the Git repository, and let's add let's commit it. Let's commit -m text to emojis, something like this. Okay, so we committed. Okay, let's try again the cargo publish -try -run. It seems that the cargo publish -try -run, which is a sort of like fake publish, so it's basically a test to see if I can publish it. It seems it worked. Okay, so now it's time to actually try cargo publish. I'm happy. I try to type cargo publish and I get an error. Okay, this was expected. Let's read it. Failed to publish to registry caused by the remote server responded with an error, status 400 byte request, and let's read here. URL for field homepage must begin with HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, so in this case I don't have a page for this, but for example what we might do is to create a GitHub repository and then use the GitHub repository as the URL for this crate. Okay, this will be a simple crate. So let's go on GitHub, but I really like the idea that it's really guiding me hand in hand. So let's create a new repository. Let's call this, for example, text to emoji. Create repository. We are actually publishing this crate on crates.io. So I created this repository. I will add this to this Git repository, and now I can use this as a link. So we have this link to the repository here. Let's use this. We need to change the cargo.toml file. So I think it was complaining about the home page. So, and I want here to show all the errors. So I just added this one. Let's try again to publish. And again, we get an error. You see, we need to commit these changes. So git add, git commit, -m homepage. You know that if your commit is just one word, you don't need the quotes. This is my toxic trait. Okay, and now let's try again, cargo publish. We are still getting an error. I don't know if you can read, but it says the remote server responded an error. The repository must start. So also the repository must not be empty. So let's add also the GitHub repository to the repository field here in the cargo.toml file. This time I will commit git add git commit GitHub repo cargo publish. Error failed. Again, we are getting close. We are getting close. Okay, the remote server responded. You see, okay, this is very interesting. The remote server error. The following categories lags are not currently supported. You see, I left the categories empty. Cargo is not happy. So let's go on crates.io categories lags to see what we can use as categories for this crate. Okay, I need to find here text parsing, text processing. I like text processing. Okay, so as a category, we can have text processing. Okay, again, git add, git commit, -m categories. Okay, git commit. And let's try again. Okay, our goal is to publish this crate on crates.io. Let's go. Done. Okay, so published text to emoji version 0.1.0 at registry crates.io. Let's see. Dashboard. And you see, I made an example before doing this, but it's this one, text to emoji. So this crate is actually published. Okay, it's amazing. This is really amazing, and I've been a bit slow just to explain all the errors, but I think that without explaining everything, you can actually do this in 3 to 5 minutes once you have the code up and running. And to be honest, it looks great. We have this, we have the version, the dependencies. I don't have dependencies, depends, and settings. Okay, this is great. Okay, now the interesting part, and you can also try it out because now this is public. We can try to create another project, and I will use this create in my project. This is also a very nice exercise to understand how this package manager they work. Let's go here, and now let's start and create a new project from zero. So for example, we can type cargo new, and we can call this like emoji test app. This is with the main.rs. We step into this directory, emoji test app. We open up, and this is a brand new Rust project. Okay, how can we add the dependencies in a Rust project? To be honest, there are different ways. Usually, I just copy paste here on the dependencies, but you can also, for example, do what is suggested here on crates.io. Here, cargo add text to emoji. So I want to try this command. So here, cargo add text to emoji, which is the crate that we just published. And here you can see that we added this. This is the version that we used. And now we can go on the main.rs file, and then here we can use the package. For example, we can type here use text to emoji, and then it's converted to emojis, which is our single method. And then in main we can have let text equal I love coffee and pizza on a sunny day. Okay, something like that. And then we can have let converted text. We use this one, and then we can finally print this converted text, something like this. Okay, let's try it out. Control L. Okay, this is very simple, but let's try it out. Cargo run. And yes, as you can see, we are using our package, our crate, in our project. Okay, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat now. This is, of course, a super simple package, but what I want to focus your attention on is the process. So because sometimes when we start coding, we think that when we use a library, we are using something magic that comes, I don't know, from the outer world. No, it's just a code wrote by someone else, someone smarter probably. Not in this case, of course, this is not written by a smart person, but it's interesting to understand the process and how we built our crate, and here we are using the crate. So now you can try to build your crate and then publish it on crates.io. This is the whole process that also involved the testing part. Okay, I will leave all the links in the description, both to this package if you want to try it out, the GitHub repository, and also crates.io. I hope you enjoyed this process. This was a more hands-on lesson. I honestly enjoyed it a lot. In the next video, we will talk about cargo workspaces. So we will go back talking about the cargo ecosystem. See you in the next video. Bye.